Also,
Welcome back to Bay Area Breakdown. Today I'm here with my co-host Justin and special guest Tyson, and we're gonna be breaking down the Warriors news and some scores, and some previews. So the first game of the week from where we left off, the Warriors beat the Grizzlies 137-116. Justin, what are your thoughts on that game?
we had very good links. Clay to Jackson Davis had been working very well, the pick and rolls, and also Chris Paul to like just anybody. Like Kaminga had been very strong. Like those little Chris Paul like half court assists, you know?
hmm Yeah, I
Yeah.
think the game we had a lot of good shooting. Shot 58% from the field, 48% from three. Only turned the ball over 7 times and rebounded the ball pretty well. Another big thing for me was getting rest from the starters. You know, Steph only had to play 24 minutes. Pajemski played 23. Draymond playing 24, and then Kuminga and Wiggins playing just under 30. What are your thoughts on getting the rest for the starters?
I think it was pretty big for the next game. Yeah.
Speaking of the next game, Warriors lost to the Pacers 123 to 111. Tyson, what are your thoughts on that game? What you saw?
The Warriors weren't shooting that good with only 40.6% from the field, while the Pacers were shooting 48.5, which is like a difference that can change the game. And the Warriors hasn't like the 3 pointers hasn't been like that good lately with like 29% from the 3 point line.
Yeah, I think Wiggins in this game kind of struggled. 4 of 11. And then I think Tyrese finishing off the quarters with buzzer beaters in 2 quarters. I think it really drained our energy. How'd you think about energy, Justin?
Our energy was pretty like it could have been up there, but Tyrese Halliburton just like what you said, just killed us like every quarter, like every end quarter,
Mhm.
and like Pascal Siakam also went crazy. Yeah.
Yeah, so moving on to the Minnesota game. So Timberwolves without Cat, we lost to the Timberwolves 114 to 110. What do you think about the game and how like the flow was? How was like a little fight, but just couldn't pull it away.
Uh, I think it was very winnable. Weren't we winning by like 7 at some point? Like when we had Steph Curry on the field on the court.
Yeah, we were up by a little bit. Tyson, what do you think about the fourth quarter?
During the fourth quarter, like I think like the Warriors like kind of like slowed down a little bit, and like that's how we lost by 4.
hmm And then Justin, like, do you think about the Timberwolves and like their shooting?
Wait, what? Can you
What about
repeat?
the Timberwolves and like their shooting that fourth quarter?
Timberwolves were very like shooting very good from 3 point line. They had over 50%. I'm just like concerned on like the worst defense letting like 3 pointers. It's like I don't know. It's always high. Like if
Yeah, I mean, I
yeah.
like the first 3 quarters. Like the Timberwolves couldn't hit a shot in the first 3 quarters from three. I mean, in the fourth quarter they turned up a little bit, but I just think like the Warriors defense in the first, especially the first half, like the Timberwolves really couldn't shoot in the first half, and I think just not being able to keep that up, keep that defense up, in that fourth quarter really cost us the game. And then we go to a little Florida trip where the Warriors beat the Heat in the first front end of back-to-back, 113 to 92. How do you feel about that game?
I think it was a very good one because Miami Heats are basically in the same situation as the Golden State Warriors. Well, like all our starter was pretty good. Like Jonathan Kuminga, Andrew Wiggins, Steph, Clay. Clay had a very big game. I like what Clay is doing so far.
Yeah, Tyson, what do you think about Clay starting instead of Pajemski?
Um, I feel like that's they have really good chemistry. Because like from like the last game, they improved like the 3 point percentage, like which is like 34.2 against the Heat, while it was like lower from like the last game.
Justin, what do you think about Clay starting?
I think like what Tyson said, like our 3 point, like Clay Thompson probably like was hitting his shot,
Mhm.
and was very like dominant on
I
the
think the
court.
big takeaway is just like Clay getting in rhythm. I think him starting this game, like a role he's been used to, helped him get in rhythm and took the pressure off Steph. Moving on to the back end of the back-to-back, we beat the Magic 101 to 93, but we all know what the big, takeaway from that game is. What do you guys think about it?
Well, talking about the big takeaway, I think Jermon Green. I think he tried cooling down. Well, do you think it was Draymond Green's fault? Because he was walking away. He was still talking, he was still talking to the ref and stuff, but I don't think it was his fault. What do you think?
I mean, I think yeah, he gotta know when to stop talking. Like we know he's a talkative guy, and he's an emotional guy, but at some point, you can't be calling refs names. And I just think, Draymond got a little carried away there. Um, yeah, what do you think, Tyson? How that kind of affected the team?
I feel like that like he's like too aggressive at sometimes. So like it like there's like a whole bunch of videos of like Steph like being like really mad that like Draymond got ejected. So like I think that it kind of slowed them down, and that's how like they were only score 100 points.
Yeah, I mean, I like the defense even without Draymond. Little heart shown by the team. Like kind of like off the stats, just like the passion that they were playing with, the energy they were playing with. What do you think about like the rest of the game without Draymond and how they played, especially without Kuminga?
Our defense like stepped up. I really like how our defense played, only letting Jim Suggs scoring 4 point, which is very like good defense, I feel like. But then we couldn't guard Cole Anthony. So
Mhm.
yeah.
Yeah, I think oh yeah, how do you feel about Trace starting and like what he brings to the team, Tyson?
Uh um I feel like Davis really stepped up, and he got a lot of playing time last game, so he got like, but with 8 points, he still got a lot of rebounds with 14 rebounds, and he had a few assists, which kind of helped the team.
Yeah, so we can move on to the next week. So we got the Hornets game in Charlotte this week.
Yeah.
Thoughts on that game?
I think the Warriors would be able to win this because like Charlotte Hornet have been breaking down, with hearing LaMelo's out for the season because the Hornets are probably not gonna make the playoff and stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, and then we play the Spurs in San Antonio.
Mm-hmm.
I think both these games are games we should be able to win. We've been a better team on the road than at home, which is interesting. Um, yeah, both these games, like you want to take it, like take both games, both teams, under 20 wins, and this is time to like really build on the playoff run. We've been struggling, we've been losing too many games, and I think this is where like the run starts. And then next Tuesday, we got the Mavericks at home.
Yeah. I think this like the two like games against the Mavericks will be like come up to the wire and also could like affect the playoff scenario.
hmm Yeah, so that's all the games, and just kind of wrap that one up. Yeah, I think we really need the Mavericks game. We need to pull it. If we can go 3-0 in the next week, I think that'll be really big. Yeah, that's all the games. And then like anything you want to talk about after?
What's your thought about Steph Curry like being like emotional like when Draymond Green got out and your thoughts on like Steph Curry like kicking the chair with excitement after the win?
I think it just shows like he's really invested into it. Like, Draymond, he's a big part of the team. He came out in Steph Curry came out in the interview saying, we need him on the court, right? And I think like everyone knows in the Warriors organization, Warriors fans know if you're the Warriors, you need Draymond to be on the court to have the best chance. His playmaking, his rebounding, his defense, he just plays so well like with Steph and Clay and their shooting. And like we've seen like in their runs, Draymond kind of like is the glue guy. He kind of keeps everybody in check. Everyone gets the ball, making sure everyone's, cool. And I just think it shows like how much chemistry they have and how much like they hold each other accountable.
Mhm. What's your thought on Klay Thompson like playing very well right now for his few last games?
I mean, it's contract year. He's kind of showing like he wants to be part of the team. He said he wants to be part of the team. And I think if he's willing to accept the bench role, accept like the occasional start role, and be like a sharpshooter off the bench or occasional starter, it really helps the team like heighten their ceiling. And it just like adds more to possibly keeping the core together.
Yeah, do you think like end of the season, do you think we'll resign Klay Thompson again?
Do I think they will? I mean, I'm not sure if they will. Like, if the season doesn't go well, I wouldn't be surprised if they don't. But I think, it's both sides want to keep him. Like, what do you think? What do you think? Like, what do you think the money should be at? Like, do you think he's a $20 million player right now?
Or how much does like like average NBA player get paid?
I mean, it depends on like what the role is, but like, do you think he's a $20 million like player level? Do you think, he's still playing at that level?
Uh, is that what he's getting paid right now?
No, I think he makes the max right now.
I definitely don't think he will make the max. Probably
Yeah,
like I don't know like the money. So I'll probably say like 6 through 7 out of 10. 10 being the max max level contract,
10 million?
or no, like 0 out of 10, like 10.
No, so it's like so Justin's saying that like he's gonna get paid like 16 million out of 20 million.
So like 6 out of 10, if you
So
know what I
like, what's the money line? Like, do you think 16 million? Like
No,
around there. Yeah. Wait, you said
here,
20
Bruce
million.
Bruce Brown makes 20 million a year.
Oh, Bruce Brown makes 20 million a year?
Bruce Brown makes 20 million a year.
I see like 32 32 then.
That's the max.
I
what the Warriors even have that money?
Well, he's a Warriors player, so like you can go over the salary cap to sign him.
I probably say like a little bit like a little bit below if Klay Thompson like keep playing like how he's playing right now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Another guy, I mean, okay. Austin Reeves is making 13 a year.
13. What?
Yeah. Let's see. Jordan Poole is making 30 a year. Yeah, Jordan Poole's making 32 a year. So
Well, that's because they didn't know that he was gonna be bad. So like,
yeah.
Yeah.
Andrew Wiggins, just for like other guys. Wiggs is making about 25 a year,
Mhm.
right?
Yeah,
Um,
what? Yeah.
so like what do you think like Clay should be at?
Wait, what did you say for Andrew Wiggins again?
25 a year.
Probably like 28, 80. Yeah, 28.
Rui Hachimura makes 17 a year.
Yeah, 28, I guess. Yeah, I'll go 28
I
if he stays
personally,
hot.
okay, I mean, I feel like that's kind of high. I personally put him around like the 20 million, maybe a little, maybe 18, 17, 18. I just think like you don't want to be paying 20 a year for a bench player. And like, especially since he's getting older, coming off like leg injuries, like he's a shooter, so he'll be able to like lengthen the career. But you don't want to be paying like, especially with Steph, like still like being so good. I don't think you want to put 28 million into Klay Thompson in like his contract. Um,
Yeah.
do you think they
Also,
keep Chris Paul too?
wait, is Chris Paul like on a 1 year?
I think Chris Paul has 2 years left. I'll check though.
Yeah, I think they will if they'll let they'll let the contract run out. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, there's been
they
some
could
like
consider.
discussions. There's some discussions on like trading him.
Wait, what?
There's some discussions on trading him, maybe to get better players.
I could see that. Yeah, I
Because he
could
makes
see
he
that.
makes 30 mil a year next year.
I think they'll try trading him if it's 30. Oh my God.
Who are some guys you think like we should go after who are around 30 mil a year?
Who's a free agent next year?
Well, I don't think the Warriors have any money in free agency. Like if we make a move, I think it'll have to be trades.
Low key, like what I said, I want to see D'Lo come to the Warriors again. Like
D'Lo,
yeah, I'm a huge D'Angelo Russell fan. Yeah, D'Lo on top.
would you start him
Low key, yeah. Like you
over
saw what
Podziemski?
you what?
Over Podziemski?
Yeah, how old is D'Lo again?
D'Lo, I think he's around. I think he's like 20, 29, 28.
28.
Yeah, he's 28.
Yeah.
I probably let D'Lo like start for a little year and still have Podziemski on bench like Klay Thompson on. I don't know. That's what I would do. I'll
Would you?
keep
Well,
both.
I mean, I think Chris Paul has to be in the trade, right? Because the
Yeah,
money doesn't match. So the lineup would be Steph, D'Lo, Wiggins, Draymond, and
Jackson Davis.
Kuminga off the bench. I think
Yeah,
I think you start Kuminga.
but like our lineup will be so small then.
I mean, we play with a small lineup now. I just think Podziemski being a rebounder kind of helps that though.
Yeah, well, Yeah, Pajensky like helps like the rebound. Like he gives so
Yeah,
much effort.
I like that. I mean, D'Lo. I don't know if I like D'Lo starting. I mean, there's no defense in that lineup other than I guess Draymond. Wiggs can kind of defend, but I like Pajemski on defense. Um, Another guy a lot of people are looking at is DeJounte Murray.
Oh yeah, DeJounte Murray. Yeah,
If
he's been popping off.
Yeah, if the Hawks had rebuild, I wouldn't be surprised, giving away so it'd be a package would probably be Chris Paul. You probably have to give away Kuminga, um, and some picks. I don't know if the money matches there. But how would you feel about that package? Like Chris Paul, Kuminga, and then some picks.
Well, I'm not a huge like fan of the draft picks, so I'll probably do that. But then for DeJounte Murray had 44 against the Celtics, one of the best teams.
Hmm.
Well, yeah, I'll probably get DeJounte Murray. I also love DeJounte.
Yeah, I think DeJounte's a player where I would not mind trading Kuminga away. I just
Wait,
think
what?
DeJounte's a player I'm not surprised. Like I wouldn't be mad if they traded Kuminga away.
Yeah, I
Because
wouldn't. Yeah,
I don't know. Kuminga, I don't know if Kuminga fits our timeline. And like his play style hasn't really like been a play style like with Steph that you can really have. He's a cool
yeah.
lob threat, but he needs the ball to drive and like he takes a lot of time.
Mhm.
And I think DeJounte can kind of play off ball, but he can also be defensive guy, facilitator, a guy you can play with the second unit. And I think, he's a little younger, a little bit more athletic than Chris Paul. Um, and then
Yeah,
you can shift pods to the second unit, but like integrate it so DeJounte or Steph's on the court at all times.
yeah. Adding on to DeJounte Murray though, like his like steal line's very like crazy. Like
Hmm.
yeah, averages like 1.5 steal, which I feel is good. And
Yeah,
like his this year like stats are pretty good.
yeah.
Like yeah.
Tyson, are there any guys you think like the Warriors should go after?
I think the Warriors should go after like uh oh yeah, I'm pretty sure like Deontay Jordan is a good pick for them.
DeAndre Jordan?
Murray.
DeJounte.
Yeah, he said
Yeah.
DeJounte Murray.
Yeah,
Solid pick.
yeah. Any other news you want to talk about?
This is the last thing before we go. Talking about Andrew Wiggins, like his like last, let's say, like his last 5 game. What's your thought on him like playing good?
I mean, he's been up and down. I mean, I think he had a little hiccup there against the I want to say it's against the Pacers.
Yeah, the Pacers.
Yeah, had a little hiccup there.
Mhm.
But I think, you want Wiggins to go back to being the second best player on the championship team. That's the
Yeah,
guy like, we paid for after that year. And if he can just be a scorer, be another guy who can stretch the floor a little bit, it really helps like the ceiling of the team. Having well-rounded shooting, having Draymond on the court, having Clay being the microwave off the bench. I think it just really helps like open up the ceiling, help us like get to the playoffs. And at this point, you just want to make the playoffs and like extend Steph's like chances to get another ring, especially
Mhm.
Not getting any younger. You know, he's been it's been a couple of years. I mean, we had the championship team in 2022, but like other than that, it's been like 5 years, 6 years of, either play-in level or just over the play-in last year, but not really championship contention. And, I think at some point you gotta like go all in one more time.
Yeah. I also like during the championship year, like Andrew Wiggins played a lot of like good defense. I like hope like he plays like the same energy of defense, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah. And that's the end of our podcast for this week. Hope you subscribe and like the video. We'll be back next week.